Hoje é sábado, dia 5 de maio, a gente está aqui no Agulha, está acontecendo a Festival Literária e está aqui conosco um mito musical, RANALDO. Infelizmente né? Vamos tentar botar uma pilha para quem sabe eles continuem, voltem do Sonic Youth, e que também está lançando aqui o livro Journals 80s. How many books did you write?
I think it's somewhere between six and 8 or 9. They're all small press books, so they're small editions. There must be 7 or 8.
This one was the second,
right? Second one, yes.
It's about it's your feelings or memories about the Sonic Youth tours between 87 and 88.
It's about my life between 1980 and 1989, and Sonic Youth was a big part of that period in my life. It was about the period when we first started going on the road and touring and starting to get known as a band. It starts from the very first records we made, being in New York City, and ends after we made Evol and Sister and Daydream Nation. There's a lot of talk about lyric writing on Daydream Nation in here. So it's not really a history of Sonic Youth at all, but it's my personal memories of that period. And Sonic Youth was a big factor. We were always traveling and touring America and touring in Europe and other places.
Sister was the first Sonic Youth record released in Brazil.
Yeah.
In 1980s, and immediately later was released in America, Daydream Nation, which is considered
one of our better records.
The Sonic Youth. Some people consider the Sonic consider Daydream Nation the Sonic Youth's masterpiece.
Yeah, I think that's the record that the whole world's heard first, you know, up until that point. So a lot of people think about that as the special record because it's the one that broke us through, you might say.
Daydream Nation is about to complete 30 years.
Yeah,
so,
just a few months in October.
How did you see today its legacy?
I don't have any idea. You know, it's a record that people still seem to listen to. In the U.S., there's a national archive of recorded music at the Library of Congress, and they took Daydream Nation, so that's a pretty special honor. But you know, it's a band, it's a record by a rock band. It's hard to say. You know, you can take it as seriously or not seriously as you want. You know, I mean, I don't know. Is it in the same league with Raw Power or the first Velvet Underground record? I don't have any idea. You know, it's all depending on the listener's attitude towards it.
Tomorrow you're gonna make a show here in Porto Alegre, and last year you released Electric Train.
Yeah,
his last record. So this is an album. Most gonna say not totally acoustic, but compared to the work you made in Sonic Youth.
Yeah, it's not a rock band record at all. It's a much more
so noisy.
It's a studio record. It's a different thing. Yeah, maybe you could say it's not so noisy, but I think you'll see tomorrow that some of those things change in concert as well. But yeah, it's a different thing. I'm really studying acoustic guitar these days. That's my main focus, and I love to play electric guitar. But the acoustic guitar is more mysterious to me right now because it's still much more of a new thing for me. So I'm working on it.
What music do you listen to today? Like
current
bands, artists?
Well, I keep talking about this one record from last year by a girl from Chicago named Haley Four. Her band name is Circuit des Yeux, and the record is called Reaching for Indigo. Fucking great record. It was my favorite record of last year, and I think she's an amazing artist. It's not her first record; it's her 4th or 5th record.
The Chicago label.
Yeah, but she's pretty amazing. So I've been really enthusiastic about her record this last year.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite album from Sonic Youth?
I don't have one.
Really?
It's too hard to pick one record. We made all of those records, and we
Like choose
your
like
favorite
say,
child.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have fond memories of certain ones, but I really, it would be completely impossible to pick. You know, Sister and Daydream Nation and Goo were the three that really brought us to the world in a way. But for me, you know, making Washing Machine and making 1,000 Leaves were really important records for us in our career. The very last recording project we did, which is a record called SYR9, it's a soundtrack to a French film called Simon Werner. It's some of my favorite stuff we ever recorded, and it's the very last thing we recorded. And that whole SYR series, there's some really nice stuff on there. The number 1 is super special, and the number 9 with this French film soundtrack is really nice. So it's very hard to say, you know. I have a different reason for liking every one. But we never put out a record that we didn't feel was absolutely the best thing we could do at that point in time. So, you know, you stand behind all of them.
Last question is a question that I made to you inside. It's like more a statement than a question. Of course, I love your work.
Will Sonic Youth return? That's the question.
Just wait a minute.
Okay.
I love your solo work.
Yes.
I love Thurston's solo work, Kim's. So, as I said, if you listen today, the last records from Sonic Youth, Murray Street, Sonic Nurse, Red Ribs, and Eternal, it's very clear that there is a band still developing, still evolving, still expanding its limits. Of course, we don't talk about nostalgia here,
Right.
But don't you miss in the stage look at your side and not to see Thurston, Kim, Steve?
You know, I had that experience for 30 years, and it's you know, I'm not young the way I was when we started, and right now my interest is in having new experiences, really. I mean, I loved that experience. I loved it so much, and I had it for 30 years, and the journeys that each of us are on right now is, to us each personally, I think equally fulfilling and equally important for us right now. So no, I'm not dreaming of being back on stage with Sonic Youth at all. I'm dreaming of whole new things right now, and I know that Thurston and Kim are too. You know, as I say to other people, if we ever played together again, I would hate to do it in the sense that bands reunion these days and just like play all the old songs.
Yeah.
I would want to immediately make new music, and if the new music was good, then I would present it to the public. And you know, I wouldn't want to exist as a nostalgia act. It would kind of go against everything Sonic Youth ever was about, in a way, you know. But right now, I'm super fascinated by the next things that are going to happen to me. You know, I love that experience, but that experience is still inside me. And you know, because we work on archival projects, I always have reason to remember those moments standing on stage with, you know, Thurston and Kim next to me and Steve behind, or Bob Burt behind, or whoever, you know. Or Jim O'Rourke on stage with us, or Mark Ibold. That's all part of our history for each one of us. And I'm kind of trying to look to the future as much as possible.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Great show tomorrow.
Okay.
Lee Ranaldo.